He was never the cleanest striker of the ball. He wasn't graceful, he didn't glide, he charged. But when Wayne Rooney put on a United shirt, it was war from day one. A 16-year-old phenomenon at Everton, a teenage wrecking ball at Euro 2004, then a £27 million gamble by Sir Alex Ferguson, and in return United got a decade of goals, grit, genius and glorious chaos. Rooney wasn't just another star at Old Trafford, he was the fuse and the fire, the player who ran until it hurt, who argued, fought, tackled, scored and won. And through it all, 559 games, 253 goals, he became Manchester United's all-time top scorer. But his story isn't just about records, it's about how he changed. From a street striker to a selfless number 10, from a boy wonder to captain and legend, and at times nearly out the door. This is a full story of Wayne Rooney's Manchester United career, season by season. The rise, the fire, the evolution and the end. Wayne Rooney arrived at Old Trafford not as a promising talent, but as a phenomenon, a teenage force of nature, already bruising Premier League defences and bending World Cup games to his will. United had to move fast. Newcastle had tabled a bid, Everton were desperate to cash in, and Chelsea lurked in the background. But Rooney made up his mind. He wanted the stage. He wanted United. Sir Alex Ferguson made no secret of his desire to sign him, even if some at the boardroom level balked at the £27 million fee, a British record for a teenager. The number 8 shirt was waiting, and so was Europe. Rooney introduced himself with a thunderous hat-trick against Fenerbahçe in the Champions League, a debut so electric it felt scripted. His first season brought no trophies, but the potential was unmistakable. 17 goals, PFA Young Player of the Year award, and a reputation that was growing by the week. He wasn't just the next big thing, he was the thing. The following year brought his first taste of silverware, 2 goals in a League Cup final against Wigan, but a fractured metatarsal against Chelsea ended his campaign early. By now, Rooney was learning the physical toll of the English game. He finished with 16 league goals in 26 appearances, but his ferocity came with risk. By 2006, the fire that had made Rooney irresistible also made him volatile. A pre-season red card for elbowing Porto's Pepe earned a 3-match ban. Off the pitch, a clash with the FA over image rights hinted at a player unafraid to challenge the establishment. And yet, in 2006-07 season, he began maturing into more than the teenage wonder. His goal at Goodison Park in a comeback win over his former club Everton was more than just another strike, it was a declaration. The boy who had once kissed the Everton badge was now kissing United's. By season's end, he had 14 league goals, big nights in Europe under his belt, and a Premier League medal around his neck. When Rooney took the number 10 shirt in 2007, it wasn't just a squad number, it was a signal. The shirt worn by Dennis Law, Mark Hughes and most recently Ruud van Nistelrooy was now his. But the new era began with another injury, a fractured metatarsal on the opening day. Still, he returned with a goal against Roma and played a vital role as United swept to another Premier League title. The crowning moment came in Moscow with a Champions League triumph over Chelsea. Rooney, still just 22, now had the 2 major club medals in his collection. In 2008-2009, he added a FIFA Club World Cup winners medal and hit new milestones: 200 Premier League games, more European goals, more silverware. But the injuries continued to eat into his season, and United Champions League defence ended in a sobering defeat to Barcelona in Rome. Then came the explosion. 2009-2010 campaign was peak Rooney, ruthless, relentless, transcendent. He scored 4 against Hull, a hat-trick against Portsmouth, braces in Milan and against City, and won games with headers, volleys and tap-ins alike. By March, he had 32 goals. United weren't just winning because of him, they were depending on him. Then came the fateful night in Munich. A twisted ankle in stoppage time against Bayern, re-aggravated in the second leg, derailed United's European push. Rooney had done enough to win the PFA Players Player of the Year, but the season felt like a missed opportunity, one that might have been different if he'd stayed fit. This was Rooney fully transformed. No longer just potential or promise, he was now United's beating heart. Few seasons in Rooney's career carried the same volatility as 2010-2011. What began with a routine penalty against West Ham quickly turned into a full-blown media storm. In October, Sir Alex stunned the press by revealing Rooney wanted to leave.
It won't matter a dick about. The player says he's adamant he wants to leave.
Wayne Rooney, who looked destined to be leaving Manchester United, has signed a new contract at Old Trafford.
This is the right club for me to be at, and the club's going to continue being successful and winning things.
The issue, not wages, but ambition. Rooney questioned whether United could still match his hunger for trophies. It was a kind of challenge few players dared pose, and it split fans down the middle. But within 48 hours, everything changed. Rooney signed a new 5-year deal, delivered a sheepish press appearance, and United fans, for the most part, welcomed him back. Whether it's brinksmanship, discontent, or cold business, Rooney had risked his legacy and just about salvaged it. The months that followed reminded everybody why he was worth the trouble. There was the iconic overhead kick against City, a goal so audacious and perfectly timed, it won goal couldn't be denied. He scored decisive goals in Europe, including one in the final at Wembley, though United were again undone by Barcelona's brilliance. The season ended with Rooney lifting another league title, but the lasting memory, a year of fire, fight and forgiveness. Rooney entered 2011-2012 in full flow. Goals on the opening day, a hat-trick against Arsenal and another at Bolton saw him hit 150 for the club before September was out. He looked sharper, leaner and more clinical than ever. He passed Bobby Charlton's tally of 7 United hat-tricks, broke Paul Scholes' Champions League scoring record for an Englishman and kept racking up milestones: 300 Premier League games, 500 senior appearances and 6 on United's all-time scorers list with 169 goals. But the team faltered. Rooney's goal at Sunderland on the final day looked enough to secure the title until Aguero's 93rd minute moment stunned the football world. Despite scoring 34 goals, Rooney ended the season with nothing but regret. Then came Van Persie. United's marquee signing changed the dynamic. Rooney started the 2012-2013 campaign on the bench, then suffered a deep gash to the leg that kept him out for a month. When he returned, he played deeper, worked harder and adapted. He still scored goals, a derby double, Champions League strikes, consistent returns throughout the winter, but something had shifted. The day Ferguson bid farewell to Old Trafford, it was revealed that Rooney had asked to leave again. He hadn't even wanted to play that day. He finished the season a champion once more, but his future at United was suddenly clouded. David Moyes' appointment brought questions. Chief amongst them, could Rooney be convinced to stay? Chelsea wanted him, PSG and Madrid circled, but United stood firm. A training ground clash with Phil Jones left him with a gashed forehead, missing the Liverpool game, but his return was emphatic. A free kick against Palace, then 2 more in Europe against Leverkusen. He became only the second Manchester United player to score 200 goals, matching Andy Cole's Premier League tally, and carried a struggling team through a chaotic season. Despite United finishing 7th, Rooney ended as their top scorer and assist provider, and even the Champions League in assists. Under Louis van Gaal, Rooney was handed the armband and a new role, both symbolic and tactical. He opened 2014-15 with a bicycle kick against Swansea, then climbed past Thierry Henry on the Premier League scoring list. He scored in big games, Arsenal, Liverpool, City, but was also asked to fill gaps in midfield, a sign of both his versatility and United's imbalance. He still delivered 10 or more league goals for the 11th consecutive season, a penalty record, another top scorer award, even as the side laboured. This was Rooney 2.0, the statesman, the captain, the shapeshifter. Rooney's final 2 years at Old Trafford were defined by diminishing returns, but historic moments. He ended the long goal drought with a hat-trick against Club Brugge. Weeks later, he overtook Andy Cole in league goals and edged closer to Sir Bobby's all-time club record. He reached 500 appearances, then surpassed Dennis Law and Thierry Henry for goals at a single club. In the FA Cup final, he captained United for 120 minutes, lifting one domestic trophy to elude him. The next season brought milestones: 100 Premier League assists, United's all-time top scorer in Europe, then finally, history. A free kick against Stoke made him Manchester United's all-time leading scorer with 250 goals. Sir Bobby handed him the golden boot. The torch had been passed. Rooney's final goal came at White Hart Lane, the last goal he ever scored there. His final game, Stockholm in the Europa League final. Another trophy, another goodbye. He left with 253 goals in 559 games, 5 Premier League titles, and a trophy cabinet that mirrored his legacy: full, relentless, unrepeatable. A street footballer who wore his heart on his sleeve, a record breaker with the instinct of a brawler and the vision of a number 10, United's talisman. Their fire, their fight. Wayne Rooney wasn't perfect, he wasn't polished, but in many ways he was the purest expression of what Manchester United fans love: fight, fury and moments you'll never forget. He left Old Trafford as the club's greatest ever goal scorer, but even that number, 253, doesn't tell the full story. Rooney defined an era. He bridged the gap between Keane and Ronaldo, between Scholes and Van Persie, between Ferguson's last title and a new identity. He wasn't just part of United's history, he carried it for years, and no matter how many stars come and go, no one will wear the badge like Rooney did.